Hello, Dolphin Writers. Welcome. I'm Professor Monica Meeks, and this is ENGL 214, Research Writing in the Disciplines here at Jacksonville University. I am so glad you're here. This video is your official course orientation. Think of it as your guided tour of the syllabus. By the end of this presentation, you should be able to tell what exactly this course is about, what's expected of you, and how to set yourself up for success. So grab something to write with or be able to write in a device of some kind because there will be a syllabus quiz due this Sunday on August 23rd, and this video will help you ace it. Let's get started. So let's start with the basics. What kind of course is this? ENGL is 100% online. It's also synchronous. That means we have a few live sessions, but mostly it is asynchronous, which means the instruction doesn't happen in real time. You as a student, you will need to work through the materials, lectures, and assignments on your own schedule rather than meeting live mostly. But there are 3 live classes or meetings I am requiring you to attend. You get to decide now when you log in and do your work, morning, afternoon, late at night, whatever fits your life. I often have many nursing students, athletes, aviation students, and all of your schedules are very packed. However, this is important. Flexibility does not mean no deadlines. Deadlines are firm. Our week starts every Monday, and most assignments are due by Sunday at 11:59 p.m. Every Monday, I will post a weekly announcement in Blackboard, and I always email it to you. Read those announcements carefully. They contain everything you need for the week. You need to know for the week, so don't skip it. Now let's talk about what you'll actually learn this semester. This course has 4 big focus areas. First, you'll master research skills. That means learning how to find credible sources using library databases. Evaluate whether a source is trustworthy, and integrate it into your writing effectively. Second, you will develop strong arguments, crafting thesis statements, building evidence claims, and analyzing what you find. Third, and this is a big one, you will perfect your citations. MLA documentation is a core focus of this group. And fourth, you'll learn how to write for your discipline, adapting your voice and style depending on your academic field. These 4 core skills will carry you through every major assignment this semester. The syllabus lists 8 official learning outcomes for this course. I want to walk you through them because they tell you exactly what you're expected to do by December. On the research and argumentation side, as you can see, you will need to be able to show evidence that you can do analytical research. Also, that you are producing polished, well organized, argumentative essays. That means they obviously have gone through a revision and editing process a few times. And one thing that may be new for you is the use of academic databases. A lot of you have not used databases before. You may have only used um, maybe Google or another search engine to find a topic. We are going to take you beyond that and into the world of academia where you can actually use databases. Your tuition is actually paying for a plethora of people who've done research ahead of you in the topics that you want to explore. And lastly, not just citing an evidence, but actually citing an article or source, but actually looking at that source and being able to tell whether or not that is the appropriate source for the type of research question that I'm trying to uncover. Next, on the skills and collaboration side, I've mentioned this before. Applying MLA documentation, on occasion I will let you use APA, but applying these formats accurately. This is a very important part of this class. Don't ignore it. Don't just do what you used to do. Some people still copy and paste URLs. HTTPS. No, can't do that anymore. You have to actually cite it using the format guided by MLA and APA. And also, you're going to be developing writing on feedback cycles, revision cycles, communicate effectively. That's sometimes the reason why we have our conferences and our live sessions, and collaborate and produce peer reviews and have discussions. I want to pause here and be very direct with you because this is also a quiz question. Citation is not optional in this course. I'll say that again. Accurate, appropriate MLA or APA style citation is not optional. The syllabus states clearly students who do not demonstrate competency in citing sources correctly are unlikely to earn a passing grade. That's not a threat, it's a heads up. MLA citation is a core learning outcome of ENGL 214. Every essay, every discussion post that references a source, you'll need to cite it properly. No, we're not doing the copy and paste the URL. None of that. If you're not sure how, that's okay. We'll learn it together. But you need to take it seriously from day one. There is also question 3 and 7 on your syllabus quiz. So make sure you know citation is a core requirement and not optional. Now let's talk about how to reach me. And this is also on your quiz. The best and only way to contact me is by email. My email address is mmaragh@ju.edu. Write that down if you don't have that already. If you have a question about assignment, concern about your grade, or you need to schedule a meeting, email me. I hold virtual office hours by appointment only, so don't just show up. Well, you can't because it's virtual. Send me an email first and we'll find a time that works. I also want to be upfront. I will do my best to respond promptly, but don't email me at 11 p.m. on Sunday expecting me to answer before a midnight deadline. Plan ahead, reach out early, and we'll be just fine. The quiz question asks you, how can you connect with me for support? The answer is send Professor Meeks an email to make an appointment. In addition to emailing me, the course has other ways that you can contact me. And the quiz asks you to list these, at least 3, so pay attention here. Number 1, the mandatory JIT sessions. These are our just-in-time sessions. Just in time, again, stands for sessions that are appropriately placed when you need them in the semester. And there are 3 of them throughout the semester. These are required, not optional. They have to be made up somehow, and we'll talk about that later. They always happen right before a major assignment, so you get the support you need exactly when you need it. That's why they're called just in time. Number 2, another way to get support is the optional Q&A drop-in sessions. Every year, my students give me really great feedback about these sessions. This is where I sit online for 2 hours and anybody who wants to drop in with questions, sometimes the person questions involve me having to write an example or to show them how. And also, they may just have a quick question about information in the instructions. And if you're on there and another student is already there when you pop on, or you're there and another student pops on, we just hang out together. It is a great way to build our learning community. And sometimes the 2 students will banter and clarify things amongst themselves, and I'll jump in. So it's really like having an open classroom. These are informal, open sessions where you can ask questions, hear what your classmates are wondering about, and get clarification. You might discover answers to your questions you didn't even know you had. And then number 3, one-on-one conferences with me. These are personalized sessions where we review your writing together. Missing a conference will cost you points, so take them seriously. 3 ways to get help: JIT sessions, drop-in Q&A, and one-on-one conferences. And of course, this is in addition to emailing me. Let's zoom in on the 3 mandatory just-in-time sessions because the quiz asks specifically about how many there are. And the answer is 3. The just-in-time session number 1 is in week 5, Tuesday, September 15th from 6:30 to 7:30. This is a library research workshop. It is led by our college librarian. You'll learn how to use library databases to find credible sources that are essential to your research assignment. I especially have this particular just-in-time session every year, and the students give me such great feedback. Many of the students are freshmen, some are in their first or second year, and they have a lot of questions about what's available to them. A lot of these are resources your tuition's paying for, and you need to be able to know what support is there when you need it. As a doctoral student, my very first semester, we had a librarian to come into our program and show us all of the databases and ways to do research and give us links for help. And I always said I will do that when I started um, becoming a professor at JU. So I hope that class is helpful to you as well. Our Just in Time session number 2 is in week 10. It is on Wednesday, October 21st. This is your individual pod or writing conference with me. That particular week, you will have one-on-one conferences. You'll bring your work, you'll review your work, and we'll talk through your progress. Be able to defend your work at that time, and more specifics, of course, will come out closer to that session. Just in Time session 3 is in week 14. It is between November 16th and the 20th. You'll select a date again. This is your student presentation and course reflection. All 3 are mandatory. At that particular Just in Time session, we will listen to others' presentations, and they will take the floor, and I will be an audience member, as you will be. So missing any of these will affect your grades. Dates and times will also be posted in Blackboard. Every now and then, there are some changes. Okay, let's next discuss our policies. Some of the policies are JU policies, while others are unique to this class. Blackboard Ultra is our classroom. Students should log in regularly each week and complete all posted readings, presentations, activities, and course content. Research shows for a typical 3-credit undergraduate course, you should plan for approximately 9 hours of academic engagement each week, including course instruction, and that's your independent work too. A little bit more about our Just-in-Time live sessions. You're responsible for the content presented during the Just-in-Time sessions. If a student can't attend, they need to communicate that to me timely, and there will be an alternative assignment, but it must be made up in order to get credit for that assignment. Cameras are encouraged during these sessions to support communication. Microphones should be muted unless you're speaking. And this just really helps with the learning community, because oftentimes people are viewing from the library, outdoors, or even the dorm room, and there could be a lot going on in the background. So we just want to make sure that your microphones are muted unless you're speaking. Regarding missed assignments and exams, again, communicate. Let me know what's going on. Of course, valid absences or extended absences, they require appropriate documentation. I have never had a problem with students legitimizing their reasons. I've had everything from deaths to car crashes to illnesses. Just let me know and we'll work through it. When possible, try to notify me before a missed exam or assignment. Remember, asynchronous provides flexibility, but it still requires consistent participation and engagement. All right, let's talk about the syllabus quiz. It is one of your very first graded assignments, and it's due this Sunday, August 23rd at 11:59. You'll find it in Blackboard in the Welcome module. The quiz has 10 questions. It covers everything we're talking about in this video and obviously information from the syllabus. Some questions are multiple choice, some are true false, and a couple will ask you to explain things in your own words. You may use notes for this quiz. It is not taken in the Respondus Lockdown browser. So therefore, it will obviously be the easiest quiz of the term. And I mainly give this quiz to lay a strong foundation for what we're learning in class. So therefore, it replaces an additional just-in-time session. So instead, I do the syllabus lecture that you're listening to now, and then I administer the quiz. But of course, the good news is if you watch the entire video and you take notes, you'll be prepared, because everything from that quiz comes directly from the syllabus and what I'm telling you right now. So stay with me. The first discussion you will do is you will complete the Meet Your Classmates discussion. Here, you will create a video or PowerPoint that includes your name, a photo of yourself, your major, your future aspirations, an interesting fact about yourself, and what you hope to learn in this course. You will then choose team reading or team writing. In other words, which one do you prefer, reading or writing? Choose one and explain why you chose that one. You will then connect with a classmate, respond to at least one classmate who has not yet received a response if you can find one. Respond to your classmate's question by writing 50 to 75 words. Please make sure you're using complete sentences and correct grammar and punctuation. This is not a text message and this is not informal writing. It should be academic in nature. You're going to, of course, reference a specific information from their presentation. If they're speaking about being on a yachting team and also they speak sign language, that would be something that you could possibly reference in your response. Add a thoughtful comment, that way connect or reaction. And here's the important part. End with a open-ended question. This is important because this is how you and others will get their full credit by answering this question. So remember, responses such as great presentation or nice to meet you or I agree, those alone are not substantive responses. So please make sure that you are thoughtful in your response. So you will answer the person's question, you will post, answer the person's question, and then of course connect with another person, not necessarily in that order. So what will you actually be doing in this course and how will you be graded? There are four main types of activities. For those of you who have taken an online course before, many of this will sound familiar. For others of you new to distant learning, this is a great way for you to figure out the lay of the land of a course. First, discussions. You'll engage with your peers and course concepts on the discussion board. This is an opportunity for us to simulate what it feels like to be in an actual face-to-face classroom where students raise their hand and they actually have an opportunity to answer questions and people piggyback on each other in a classroom setting or they may comment. So this is a great way for us to build our learning community as if we were a face-to-face class. And I want to be clear. One sentence responses like I agree, great post, nice job, they do not meet the expectations. You're to write with substance, support your ideas, and engage thoughtfully. Discussions are worth 30% of your grade. There are times when you have to respond to a discussion and you have to actually put a citation at the end. MLA or APA, it's going to be very important that you get in the habit of writing very thoughtful discussions. Second, we have essays and writing activities. These are worth 55% of your grade. These are your major assignments, obviously. This is where you will show and build your demonstration of argumentative writing skills. Next, we have our participation section or our quizzes. And your quizzes, these are obviously graded and they are usually open for the length of the entire week's assignment. Sometimes I will have the quizzes based on what we've just covered, or it may be a comprehensive quiz, but actually most of the quizzes are just a way for me to double down on a key topic such as citations, citing evidence, quoting, paraphrasing. And typically with the quizzes, I don't mind you using notes. I don't mind you using notes because most of them are just reviews for me and for you. And lastly, we have our synchronous and group related participation. That will be your conferences, your peer meetings. Those are typically be able to be made up. They have to be made up in order for you to get credit for it, but it will be important that you communicate, and therefore I will then share the alternative assignment with you. But as you can see at the top, you can see the week one assignments. We have a discussion, we have a writing pretest, which does not count towards your grade, but that is also due the first week. And then we have a syllabus quiz, which actually does. So 2 graded assignments in week one. So please make sure you do them timely. Looking ahead, notice that these are some additional dates, and you can see some of the items that we'll be discussing then. Right now, we're in this week one. Each week starts on a Monday. Next, we will get into foundations of collegiate level argument writing. We'll be digging into thesis statements, organization, evidence, and commentary. The commentary is kind of tough for some students. This is what happens after you write your text evidence. How do you analyze it? How do you elaborate on it? How do you comment on it without being redundant or plagiarizing? After that, we will dig into development of a collegiate level argument essay. Here we have the foundational items in week 2, and then week 3 we will dive into the actual essay. We will be talking about and learning about introductions, conclusions, counter arguments, and integrating quotation, and we will have an MLA quiz. Again, citations, gathering evidence is the primary goal of this course. In that week 4, your essay will be due. Um, More about that. Some lightning outside my window. And then week 5, we'll begin research as inquiry. That'll be our next just in time session. And our topic will be library research. And we'll have our visit from our librarian and more about that later. More of informational writing versus your argument. Let me give you a quick study guide for the quiz. We talked about that already. You need to know where the syllabus is located. It's located in Blackboard. All of this information is here. Citation is not optional. The Respondus Lockdown browser, we will use this many times throughout the semester, but you have to download it yourself because it will not automatically appear for you. Speaking of which, you also have to make sure that you locate your textbooks because they are online as well. Now let's talk about the AI, our artificial intelligence policy, because this is one of the questions on your quiz. And it may ask you to explain 3 key points from the AI use policy in your own words. Here's the policy. Listen up. You cannot use AI tools for assignments in this class unless you're explicitly given permission. Just by chance, Professor Meeks, I will receive my doctorate in 4 months in artificial intelligence with the concentration of narrow AI in higher ed. So this is actually my expert position, and I am excited about you using AI with appropriate use, and it's something that I have gained quite a bit of knowledge about. So I'll be able to help you navigate how to properly use it without causing yourself any academic integrity problems. If you use AI without permission, you're in jeopardy of violating the academic integrity policy, and that can result in an F for the assignment. Now, there are exactly 2 times in this course when I will allow you to use AI, and I will tell you clearly when these moments are, and it will be for an assignment. Outside of those 2 instances, AI is off limits. For the quiz, you'll need to be able to explain 3 key points from this policy in your own words. A good answer would be something like, AI is not allowed unless permission is given, unauthorized users will violate academic integrity, and there are only 2 permitted uses in this course. Your required textbook for this course is They Say I Say by Gerald Graff, one of the best writing books I've ever seen, and Catherine Berkenstein. The ISBN is that. Now here's the great news. You do not need to buy this book. Of digital version, this is the first year I've done 100% digital version because I found out it was available through your JU accounts. No one ever told me that until this summer. So lots of the online I shared it with a lot of the online professors. A digital version is now available through Blackboard starting on the first day of class. I'll provide any additional instructions if needed once the course opens. The title itself, They Say I Say, actually captures the core of what we do in academic writing. Listen carefully. This is very important to understand the leap from your previous writing experiences, whether it was K-12 through high school or a lower level writing course. When we enter a conversation that's already happening, we acknowledge what others have said, and then we add our own voice and argument. That is the foundation of research writing. This book will guide us through that. Let me give you a bird's eye view of the whole semester so you can see where we're headed. Weeks 1 through 4 are our foundation. We'll cover the basic academic argument, and you'll write your first essay. Weeks 5 through 7, they shift into research mode. This is when our just-in-time session 1 happens, and you'll work on a multimedia research project. Weeks 8 through 11 focus on discipline-specific writing. You'll analyze your writing in your own academic field and produce a discipline-specific assignment. Weeks 12 through 14 are the big finish, your final research, argument, and presentations. I look forward to these every year, including your just-in-time sessions 2 and 3. And then finals week brings the exit exam, which I think is being modified and it will no longer be a part of our course, but more about that later. It is taken online in your Respondus Lockdown browser. Just to be firm, you have a few times when your Respondus Lockdown browser is used. It is used for your writing pretest, which is in week 1, and it is also used for any other key assignments in our course, and it is used for your exit exam if we still have that this year. You may see exit exam in your Canvas, in your Blackboard interface. It'll have this course, and then it may have another course that says exit exam. That may be going away, or it may be have been taken away by the time you see this video. It's a full semester of building skills. Each unit prepares you for the next. So let's make sure you have the right technology set up before the semester starts. You'll need a reliable computer or laptop, and I want to emphasize this. A mobile phone alone is not sufficient for this course. You will need to be able to create documents, format essays, upload files, and take exams. You need a full computer mostly. You will also need a word processing software. Microsoft Word is recommended. You need a stable internet connection and access to Blackboard. And here's a big one, Respondus Lockdown Browser. This is required for your pre-assessment exam during week 1 and throughout different moments in the semester. It is not automatically installed on your computer. You must download it yourself, and I've given explicit directions in the writing pretest as to how to do it. The quiz will ask about this. You have to do it yourself. It is not automatically downloaded. And I'll post a download link in Blackboard. I've already done so. Wrapping up, 3 more slides. Now let's talk about how to actually navigate your course in Blackboard. Every teacher, even if you've had a course in Blackboard before or other interfaces or LMSs, you still need to understand how I have set it up for this course. When you log in and go to your course content, you'll see your weekly modules. Okay? Listed week 1 and week 2. I'll actually have week 1 and the date that week 1 encompasses. Each module has a little arrow to the side. It looks like a chevron or a caret symbol pointing to the right. That's your key to opening the module. Okay? Click that arrow and the module will expand to show you everything inside for that week. I'll show you that on the next slide. Your reading assignments, discussions, and any other resources I've posted. Typically, I will have 2 areas that you need to click, readings and assignments. Think of each module as a folder for that week. If you don't see any content, make sure you've clicked that arrow to expand the module. That's a very common mistake. Also, some content only becomes visible on certain dates. So if something looks empty, it may not be released yet, and oftentimes it will tell you when it's released. Once you've expanded a module, this kind of counts as one slide, you can see the items inside. Here's how to access them. Click on any item to open it. For documents like the syllabus or assignment instructions, you'll see a download or view option. This is very important. Look for the 3-dot menu or a small download icon next to the file name. You can choose to view the file right there in Blackboard, or you can download it onto your computer to keep a copy or to expand it more. I recommend downloading. You can get a better view of it, and the document acts better in what you downloaded on your own computer. And also, I recommend downloading important documents like the syllabus so you always have it handy. Also, notice that each assignment shows the due date right underneath. For example, you can see the syllabus quiz is on 8/23, due at 11/59. Always check those due dates. And remember, the syllabus itself is located in the welcome module, which is our very first module. That's also a quiz question, so make a mental note of that. We're almost at the end of our orientation, so let me leave you with a few important reminders. First, read your weekly announcements. The very important one is that you have to take your back to school pre-assessment the first week of class, and that one is done on the Respondus Lockdown browser, so you need to ensure that you have downloaded that. Every Monday, I post an announcement. I always email it to you as well. These announcements contain critical information about that week's work. Don't ignore them. Second, plan ahead. This is an asynchronous course mostly, which means you have flexibility, but that flexibility can work against you because The course and the classroom is not in your face, so sometimes out of sight, out of mind, and when that happens, grades go down. So if you're not disciplined, make sure that you set up notebooks, reminders in your phone, electrical reminders, friends, family, someone to help keep you targeted on point with what's happening in the course. Don't wait until Sunday night to start an assignment that was posted on Monday. Third, reach out early. If you're struggling or confused, I am asking very boldly, email me sooner than later. If you're falling behind, let me know. I can't help you if I don't know how to help. You can ask anyone on campus who's had my course. I'm pretty tough, I'm pretty strict, and I have a thorough class, but I am very understanding. And I'm also a mom of college students at one point, and I am a college student now myself. So I understand we have families and we have things that come up. And fourth, remember that strong writing does not develop by asking AI to write your papers. Strong writing develops through practice, revision, and feedback. You won't be perfect on the first draft, and that's okay. That's what this course is for. And that brings us to the end of our course orientation for ENGL 214. I want you to know that I'm genuinely excited to work with you this semester. I tell people all the time, I feel like I was put on earth for literacy, reading and writing, teaching and learning. This course will challenge you. You'll write more than you expect, you'll revise more than you're comfortable with, and you'll cite more sources than you think you need to. But I promise you, you'll be a stronger, more confident writer when it's all said and done. You have everything you need to succeed. The syllabus, the textbook, the just in time sessions, my email, this video. Now go take that syllabus quiz and your pre-assessment for writing. It's due this week. You've got this. Go Dolphins.